Playing with a boy, do 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 do. Playing with a small boy. It in aperitifs and sunsets. I like my coleslaw playing with the boys. Playing with a boy. Da 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 da. Yeah, playing with a few boys. There he is. Here we are. Right, Noah? There's Noah. Oh, sorry. Thought I clicked this. Oh, that's the background. Oh, boy. We're having a real nice, easy show. Not a care in the world. Hold on, Noah. My co-host Noah's here. There he is, folks. The one-eyed dog. Send money. This is how we're going to do the show today. This is the show. We always keep it fresh here at Ski Mask Media. You just never know where I'm going to be. I'm going to do this show from my back today. That's how good I am at this. I could do this literally in my sleep. There he is, Noah. Say hello to the people, Noah. Look at, he's got one eye. Think I was lying? Noah had two eyes 3 weeks ago. Now he's down to one. Send help. Send super chats. Send my account at DaveD23. Imagine. I'm just kidding, folks. You don't have to send super chats. I'm being satirical. I'm just joshing around. I'm being satirical, making fun of these other shows. Ladies and gentlemen, and yes, this is how I'm doing the show. We're always trying new things here. We're going to have a nice, laid-back Sports Mask episode 94 this week, folks. Had to get it in. A lot going on. I punched my car. I bloodied my hand already today. I got a new pair of sunglasses I found. This is how you do a podcast. Never do show prep, never stream snipe, never watch clips, never just read comments for 2 hours. You just lie down on your back, have a one-eyed dog lick your hand, and you talk about sports for 20 minutes to an hour. And that is what we're going to do. Just easier today. I figure why not? I was going to set up and make it, who cares about looking good? It's all about the words coming out of my throat. So let's have and it's a Friday afternoon, a fall Friday afternoon. Many of you probably working from home or off early, so you're welcome for this beautiful start time of 3:30. I myself was running around. Of course, I was at the gym. Of course, I went to the liquor store. Of course, I had to call AAA and pay $300 to get my battery replaced because fucking Subaru couldn't fucking do it last time I brought it, even though I told them I needed my battery replaced. But no. And I'll get to the comment. Feel free to comment. I will eventually sit up. I will at some point sit up and read comments, and God forbid a super chat. But you can always join the Patreon for $3. Let's look at it as a once a month. Oh, I forgot to put that on the bottom. Excuse me, Noah. I'm in the middle of a very important podcast. I'm coming. I know. Noah's an athlete. You should see. I got videos of Noah chasing squirrels, right, Noah? Geese, squirrels. He's killed two groundhogs in his day. One of them he killed while on a leash. That's how quick he is. Fast twitch muscles, just like his old man. There it is. That's all I was trying to do. Say hi, Noah. Get a good look. Oh, what a beautiful boy. The original beautiful boy. Anywho, it probably made a lot of people sick. I don't really care. Ladies and gentlemen, Sports Mask Collective. You thought I was lying that I'm going to do this whole show on my back, and you're kidding yourselves. I'm reinventing how podcasting is doing. Sports Mask Collective, episode 94. The year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Howard Hieronymus Christ, November 15th. And NFL Week 11 already, Noah. Can you believe it? I don't think he can. The season just flies by. I can't believe it either, my friend. Um, Super chats for Noah. That's what we're going to call this show. Right? He's nuts. It's very important. He's very much in charge here. Yeah, he doesn't care for that. We'll get to all the games. Obviously, we always get to all the NFL games here at Sports. We're quickly approaching episode 100, by the way, which will be a monumental occasion. I'll send the link to all types of freaks. In case you missed it, I joined Garrett and Steve yesterday, a 3-hour plus show in person. God forbid these other podcasts leave their house. I do shows in person, in the flesh. Me and Steve and Garrett, now me and Noah. God knows what'll happen next, folks. But that is over there on Garrett and Steve's channel. We covered a lot of ground. We did an extra hour because we were having so much fun because that's what I do. It's just natural to me. And I called Violet Brandani, who, by the way, if you watch the show, she did text me back last night. We had a nice text conversation. She's going to let me know when she's in town. Let's see these other freaks do that. That is a true story for those who did watch GNS yesterday. Violet did text me back after hours, and she said, my phone died I can't believe my luck. My phone died when Jim Stansel texted me, of all days. Oh, yeah. Word gets around. Anywho, we're talking sports, Noah. Noah's got fast twitch muscles. Right, Noah? Yeah. He's the big dog. What do we want to start with, folks? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at my feeble notes that I took. Excuse me, Noah. I'm in the middle of doing something very, very important. This is a My Pillow my head is on, by the way. Shout out Mike Lindell, chairman of the excuse me, sir. Chairman of the Mike Lindell, chairman of the pillow branch of government, as it were. My pillow. I used to do crack cocaine for 3 years, and then all of a sudden I had my head on a cinder block, and I realized this cinder block could be a pillow, and I made it, and I called it My Pillow. That's halfway. My Mike Lindell is always somewhere between Mike Lindell and Jesse the Body Ventura. They have the heart machine. There's grays walking among us. That's Jesse Ventura. And Mike Lindell is, hey, I was addicted to crack cocaine and I made my pillow. I don't know. I haven't heard either of them talk in forever, so that's actually very good. I'll pat myself on the back. Right, Noah? I suppose, let's see. I know there's two things I want to talk about quickly, and then we'll get right into the NFL. Because as you see, we're having a nice laid-back show today, folks. Me and Noah, all these other people doing all this gay research to find clips and setups and this. This is almost, honestly, this is basically an art piece on what podcasting kind of should be. Everybody makes it too big of a deal. You can literally lie on your back with a one-eyed dog and do the same thing that all these other freaks do with all these expensive studios and all this dumb show prep and all this bullshit, Noah. I'm proving a point. This is art as much as it's a sports show, frankly. And kudos to you people for watching and listening, whether it's live or later. Dude, you get it out of the way. Patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. Look at it as a once-a-month super chat for $3. You don't even have to watch it, but we do. There's massive amounts of content there in the Patreon. I'm not even kidding. 2 Patreon exclusive videos uploaded just in the last week. And that's the best way to support us. YouTube is dying. They take 60% of super chats. And if you want to just cut out the middleman, join the Patreon or Venmo my account at DaveD23. That is at DaveD23 on Venmo. That's my accountant's Venmo that he sends directly to me. Wink. Anyway, get the business. The business is out of the way. I'm not gay. I'm a man of my word, so I'm not going to just blab about it, about begging you for money the whole show, because that's pathetic, and that's why I don't watch these other shows anymore. Anywho, Noah, excuse me, sir. Can't you see him in the middle of something? Noah's got to be the boss. Big piece, by the way, folks. Big piece on this dog. Again, just like his old man, big piece on a small body, if you know what I mean, folks. Mike Tyson, and against Logan or Jake Paul. I don't give a fuck enough to figure out which one is which. Tyson-Paul fight tonight, folks. A couple quick points, and I'm not going to say anything you haven't heard already. I will give my opinion, because that's the whole point of any podcast ever, is just giving your opinion on things. I don't know anyone truly who is rooting for Mike Tyson to lose, who's rooting for Paul. So obviously rooting for Tyson to win. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anybody who isn't. However, I was a bit perturbed by, he had to post. It was a live workout they both had to do. I didn't love how Tyson looked in that. To my untrained eye, he looked a bit sluggish and a bit off balance. Now, I say untrained eye. I have been watching boxing my whole life. I respect boxing, unlike I don't respect UFC or MMA at all. I've been on record many times calling it a glorified bar fight. And I will die on this hill because I like hills and mountains, and I want to die. So I will die on the UFC MMA hill. It's also fun to argue with people about, so I'll never stop saying UFC and MMA kind of sucks. But boxing is the beautiful game. What do they call it? The beautiful sport, the beautiful dance, something gay. Anyway, yeah, so Tyson looked kind of shitty in his workout, in my opinion. He looked great in person at the weigh-in before they did that whole work of him slapping Paul's face, which if you bought into that being any kind of real thing, you're a sheep. Obviously, it was all promotion, and really this whole fight has been a huge promotion. They pushed it back. It's Netflix first kind of big pay-per-view kind of fight. So just in case, I would hope that all of you understand that, but just to lay it out in case you don't, this is all a huge promotion just for Netflix, really. It's a big circus on purpose, from the beginning to the pushback to the slap. Yeah, so don't expect any kind of good fight this evening. However, at some point they have to get in the ring and have at each other. So there's going to be an element of sport involved just by necessity. But they're also using huge gloves. They're not physically huge, but with the way they're padded, 14-ounce gloves, which are very forgiving. So sport-wise, I don't expect too much at all out of this fight, nor should you. It's really just a circus to promote Netflix's, they're trying to do more live sporting, and I think they bought something. I don't know. I don't fact check. Fact checking is gay. Caring about, I think sitting up to do podcasts is gay now. This is actually, I might never sit up again. This is kind of great. I mean, I'm reinventing podcast. Every time I do a podcast, I reinvent something. And I think I just did it again, Stancil Stradamus. It's absolutely unbelievable what's happening out here, folks. And I will, if you're commenting, I will sit up and read the comments at some point, Noah. Noah, can you go read the comments for me? All right. You could stay here. Yeah, a couple notes. Yeah, Paul is yet to fight. Has he fought any boxer he's fought MMA guys who were kind of in their prime, but he boxed them, or vice versa. Again, I don't care to research. He fought Mayweather, who's an old man. He's fighting Tyson, who's an old man. So whatever happens in this fight, I don't know anybody. No one should have any more respect for Paul if he wins. Um, in a it's a win-win and a lose. I think it's a well for Paul. I guess it's a win-lose, which is maybe one of the most retarded things I've ever said. Because obviously, if he wins, he wins, and if he loses, loses. For Tyson, it's almost a lose-lose, unfortunately, for old Mike. If he loses, obviously, Hall of Fame, greatest boxer ever, lost to a dumb white. And if he wins, Hall of Fame, greatest boxer ever, did what he had to do against Paul. So, Mike's making a big bag, big gloves. They're using the 14-ounce gloves. I hope they're not wearing headgear. I don't care enough to do research. But I suspect it'll at least be entertaining. It'll be interesting. Don't be surprised if there's some kind of. I could Stancil Stradamus this. Don't be surprised if there's some weird DQ in the first 3 or 4 rounds. I think they're going 8 rounds. Don't be surprised if there's some weird end to the fight. It gets ended early, or it shouldn't have been ended, and they ended it, kind of thing. Because again, this is all a promotion for Netflix. Wake up if you don't realize that. But it was something different. A Friday night, they'll probably fight around 11. Everybody will be home for the most part, so enjoy. I unfortunately, I think Paul is going to win. He's in the prime of his life, fighting a 60-year-old. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, Mike just catches him with one of those legendary right hooks and literally kills him, and that'll be the end of that because I'm tired of looking at the Pauls. What else did I? Oh, let me touch on the NBA quickly because the NBA obviously sucks, and then we'll get into the NFL. This NBA Cup they do, Noah, right? At the beginning of the year. Isn't it? Don't you think it's silly? Lick for yes. Oh, see, Noah agrees. He's fucking right, Noah. This fucking NBA sucks. The NBA sucks, right, Noah? If the NBA regular season wasn't a joke enough, and by the way, all you need to see, you have Giannis with, I think he has, what does he have, like 3 games over 50 points already. That stick figure alien who's not going to last 5 years in the league that everybody's on his dick, Wembayama. He's not going to, Stancil Stradamus, he won't, he might be in the league, but he won't be any type of anything in the next 4 or 5 seasons. His frame sucks. He's built like Manute Bol. We all know what happened to poor Manute Bol, who my mom, if you watch the show, you remember the legendary story where my mom thought Shaquille O'Neal was signing autographs at the paint store and told the whole neighborhood, and we all piled in the truck and went over. Only to find it was Manute Bol that was signing autographs and his legs were sticking out the door. Anyway, you can go back in the archives and look up that Sports Mass where I tell that whole story because that's a classic. Super chat $10 and I'll tell the whole story. How about that? You want me to be gay like these other shows? I'll do it. Or Venmo me $5 at Dave D23, even better. That's my account. I don't care. I'll go down to these losers level every now and then and beg for money like these other pathetic shows. But anywho, as I was saying, Noah, Wembayama, 7'3", weighs 72 pounds, I think. He won't be a factor in 4 or 5 seasons. Those bodies just don't hold up. Sorry. But anyway, my whole point was Giannis 50 plus point games already. Wembayama had a 50-point game the other night. My point in saying all this is the NBA is a joke. I remember growing up, and you folks probably do as well if you're of legal age, 50-point games were a big deal growing up. They only happen a couple times a season. Now you're getting 50, 60-point games almost weekly, definitely monthly. And it just, as with everything, it takes away. And it's not that these players, the issue there is, it'd be one thing if these players are light years, like in the credits do. In Major League Baseball, these players are such more freakish, more athletes playing the game, bigger muscles, whereas back in the day they weren't. And that's why you see 60 home runs, 50 home runs almost yearly. The NBA, the player type hasn't changed. There's just no defense played. Everything is a foul because everyone's a bitch in the league now. So that you can't bang in the paint. You got 7-footers shooting threes, so these guys can just compile points. There's so many factors that add into the state of the NBA, and nobody plays defense. For God forbid you play defense. Because it's a me league. Every player is just out for themselves now. I don't know if there's any well-rounded team that actually cares about being a team, Noah, in the fucking NBA anymore. And then on top of this, and this is why they roll out this that's the only word I can describe it, this silly NBA Cup, this in-season tournament they started a couple of years ago. And it's just all these arrested development adults. They have to have the courts painted, and you get this meaningless trophy. You have this meaningless playoff bracket in the regular season, all to just try to get any extra eyeballs they can. And it all goes back to proving my stance of Stradamus' point that they know behind closed doors, like the product of the NBA regular season is just so poor. They have to do anything to get people's eyes. And that's where make no mistake, that's where this NBA Cup was born out of, to try to get some kind of viewership for this first month or two of the season. But it's a totally meaningless cup. It's another thing for let the mouth breathers and the mongoloids. Oh, look how the court is painted. The court has paint on it. There's paint. Oh, there's a cup on every court. And the court is painted. I drive in the left lane of the highway because I don't understand that the right lane is the slow lane, the middle lane is the travel lane, and the left lane is for passing only. And I know I'm off on a tangent, but let me say that again because I'm amazed by how dumb, and I know it's not you people, because you're so smart you're watching this show. But I need you to go out in the world and spread the word on this because it's common sense. I thought it was common sense. A 3-lane highway, folks, and it always comes back to traffic here at Ski Mask Media. A 3-lane highway. The right lane is for what? I'll let you folks answer at home. The right lane is the slow lane. The middle lane is for what? Wrong. The middle lane is the travel lane. The middle lane, if you're doing 5 miles an hour, around the speed limit or 5 miles an hour more, the middle lane is for you. That is the travel lane. The left lane is for what, folks? No, the left lane is for passing only. You should only be in the left lane of the highway if you are passing cars in the middle lane, which is the travel lane. And if you do have to go slow, and there's nothing wrong with it, if you have car trouble or whatever, you had an old car, doesn't go fast, you're towing something, the right lane is for you. Okay? Are we getting it? If you're trying to go fast and people are going slow in the right lane, the problem isn't the person going slow. The problem is you. And if you're in the left lane and you're wondering why people are up your ass and there's people in the middle lane passing you, the problem is you. And if you're in the middle lane and you're going this and you're up someone's ass and the speed limit is 65 and they're going 65 or 70 or even 60 and the left lane is open, then the problem is you. So let me one more time, because again, I'm amazed at the Mongo Bongos out there who don't understand the basic rules of driving, you fucking freaks. I find myself punching my car more and more. I'm convinced the jab, we'll call it, is having the effect of the jab are starting to take hold on these adults because people are just getting more and more retarded. Maybe it's the screen, a mix of the screens and the jab. I don't have to worry about it because I never succumb to that cheap bullshit. Ha ha ha. Pure blood here, folks. The right lane, slow lane, middle lane, travel lane, and especially for you Massachusetts retards, left lane is for passing only. Do not do the speed limit in the left lane. Get in the middle lane if you want to do the speed limit. Got it, people from Massachusetts? People from Massachusetts, it's constantly you in the left lane going slow. Sports. Anywho, we were talking about the NBA and how shitty the NBA Cup was. I think I made all my points, right, Noah? So it's just so silly. Yeah, just nothing to be cited about. It's meaningless. There's really no reason to watch the NBA till the playoffs. It's just such a terrible, terrible product. I do prefer, unlike football, I much prefer college basketball over the NBA. Even college basketball, that's the one you're going to start tuning in a few weeks here. I always remember a nice Saturday evening, late afternoon. It's dark out because we're in daylight savings or unsavings. I never figured out the difference. There's some soup on the pot. The windows are fogged up. You got some college basketball on the TV. Your dad is screaming at your mother. You're playing with a G.I. Joe. Kansas Jayhawks are playing the Hoosiers. And that's a nice fall and early winter afternoon there, folks. I just painted a beautiful picture. That's what I do here because I'm reinventing podcasting. I don't even do this for a living, and I'm so much better than many people in comics who actually do this for a living. It's actually fairly sad, frankly. I literally can do these shows on my back staring at a ceiling, and it's much more entertaining than anything else these freaks and losers and phonies are doing. I saw somebody say last week I complained too much. Please absolutely never watch anything I do again because then you don't understand what I'm doing, you idiot. That is the whole fun of the show. What do you want me to say? The NBA is good. I like the NBA Cup. College football is fun. They care. The Jets tried this year. Maybe they'll try last year. Who gives a fuck? There's nothing fun about being in a good mood for entertainment purposes, at least. I'm in a great mood in the real world, not on these silly, dumb, loser podcasts, folks. Anywho, oh boy, let's do a quick. I see we're in the double digits for comments, Noah. Shall we do a quick look at the comments? All right. Let's see if anything of note, and then we'll get to the NFL. My pillow. Hee hee. It's mostly just Ashley Marie Thornton. Who's surprised? Aya Sakura, hello from Japan. Lazy. No. You know what's lazy, Tommy? Lazy is basing your show around super chats and stream snipes and clip watches and talking about the same 60-year-olds, Stuttering John and Shuley and Ray and wah, 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 wah. It's literally plain that. That is lazy. I'm reinventing podcasting. Where's Victor? Yeah, hit up the trap out of the Victor. Julian, good to see you again. My dog. Yeah, everybody says Noah's a Jew name. I didn't name him. He's a rescue because I'm not a piece of shit. Ashley Marie, hello to Ziggy. No. Well, I'm talking about the highway, Ashley. If there's a left exit, then obviously you can use the left lane. This is a sports show. Julian gets it. He's complaining. Sports show, not MapQuest. You boat rower. Ooh, it's a kayak and it's a paddle, not a thing. But good callback to MapQuest. What's your thought on jet skis again? Yeah, we know. Pieces of shit. Too poor for a boat, too lazy for a kayak. Now, let me get back to lying down because it's. Oh, Noah. Look at this. Excuse me, Noah. I'm trying to do a very, very important show. Well, Noah's had enough. Well, I guess I'll just do the show from here. I'll let Noah take the screen time. Let's get into the NFL. 3 big games this week. Look at this. 3 big games this week. One happened last night, and then a couple middling games, and then a big fat load of slop, unfortunately, for the NFL games this week. The big 3 games, obviously one last night, the Commanders and Eagles, where, as I suspected, the Eagles took care of business. And I like the Redskins, but they're not at the Eagles have a ton of talent on that team. And it seems like they're finally getting to form, as I told you they would. Stancil Stradamus, if you watch the show, the only sports show you need to watch, because I've never been wrong. It's hard to do a podcast upside down. I'm truly reinventing podcasting. I'm doing a podcast upside down on a bed, and I'm still right about everything. So the Eagles took care of business, as I suspected they would. And, all 3 of these matchups, and I'll get to the other 2 in a second, all 3 of these you can expect to see come playoff time. I truly think you will see all 3 of these matchups in the playoffs. So we had the Eagles taking care of business last night against the Commanders. The Eagles now are in a commanding position of the NFC East with that win. That puts them, because obviously they have the tiebreaker with the Redskins now, a.k.a. the Commanders. And so that puts them 2 games up, even though 1 game in the win column. And the Giants and the Cowboys are in total free fall. And then the other 2 games, we have the Steelers and the Ravens, which I love that matchup every year. 2 great coaches, 2 hard-nosed teams. Those AFC North matchups are always some of my favorite, whether it's Bengals, Steelers, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Ravens, all of those matchups are always hard-nosed, low-scoring. You can pretty much lock that game in for a 21-10, 17-3, 24-17. They never, they always stay under 30 with those games. And then, of course, the game of the week, game of the year so far, probably. We got the undefeated Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. That's going to be your 4:25 game on Sunday. That's the one all 3 great matchups. We had one last night. Didn't really live up to expectations. I think it felt like the Eagles had that game in hand. I foresee these other 2 games being a bit tighter, more hard-nosed, hopefully more hard cocks too. Big hangers there in the NFL. This is how you do a podcast, by the way. This is exactly how you do it. I'm reinventing podcasting upside down on a bed, a one-eyed dog under my arm over here. Absolutely unbelievable what's happening out here. Every week we continue to reinvent podcasting. Last week, Ski Mask went in a trailer park pool hall. We watched Mark Random have sex. That's just what I could remember. He got thrown out. He said the N-word and got thrown out of a Halloween party. If you don't watch what's going on here, I don't care. Don't watch. For the people that don't, you people obviously do. For the people that don't, no skin off my cock, but they're lost. Go watch more clip shows and super chat shows, because that's fun. What do you think about Stuttering John? Imagine still talking about Stuttering John. Jesus Christ, God, these people are losers. Anyway, I'll get to my picks of those games when I get to my picks. I told you when the Jets get to 7 losses, I won't really be talking about them, and I won't. Technically, they can run the table here and get to 10 wins, I suppose. But again, they're not worth talking about at all, especially now. So there's really not much to talk about with the New York Jets, other than you saw that funny stat this week. I mean, really sad. What was it? Since 2023, Zach Wilson has the most wins of all New York quarterbacks because he had four. Uh, Rodgers has three, and Jones has three, or something like that. Tyrod Taylor is, so. And I will say, how good does Salah look at the end of all this? He can sit back and say, "Hey, look, the whole organization sucks. The culture of losing." I will touch on that with the Jets, I guess, because talking about what's going on this season is pointless. Rodgers says he wants to come back. He's just saying what he has to say. I don't believe it for a second. He's going to do what he wants to do. Um, um, but there's just something. I think hopefully Woody Johnson again takes a spot in Trump's White House, and that's not a joke. He did that in 2016. Um, I don't know what it'll take for him to sell the team. These guys are all these owners obviously are egomaniacs, so I don't foresee them selling the team. I think that's what has to happen to change anything for the Jets. But it's just pathetic. Um, so I think with that said, I have to sit up to look at my phone. There's Noah. I didn't know Noah was a Jew name. Isn't he in the Bible as the person who made the ark? Right, Noah? The one-eyed dog. There he is. At Dave D23, if you'd like to help me pay down his vet bill, you could send it to my accountant at Dave D23, or join the Patreon right down here. Is that how you do? Apparently, that's how you do podcasts like these other fucking losers. You just beg for money and read comments all the time. I, on the other hand, like to do a real show, right, Noah? Get in there, Noah. People like dogs. There he is. He's a dog. There's another dog over there, but my old 2016 computer would fall apart if I try to move it. All right, folks. I think it's time. I think it is time to get to the picks. Right, Noah? Noah wants the picks. Noah? Can I go back to my pillow now, Noah? Huge bed. Absolutely love my pillow. Oh, it's a beautiful bed. Right, Noah? Let's get the music. Where's the music, Noah? We have to play the music. Oh, by the way, let me touch on this, folks. And I didn't even get a chance to touch on this with Garrett and Steve yesterday. Excuse me, Noah. I'm in the middle of doing something very, very important. I have to talk about myself because that's how you do shows, apparently. I want you folks to know what good hands you're in with these picks. In the Garrett and Steve and Gino, the football show pool, I am, let me tell you my record because it's absolutely unbelievable. Now, I'm in the pool without the spread. On this show, we pick the games with the spread. I honestly don't keep track. I probably should, but I don't care enough to keep. Noah, can you please? Noah, come on. Now we're getting crazy. Noah just wants the fucking airtime. Jim Stancil stances in the In Hot Water football pool. I am 80-53 without the spread. Let me say that again. Me, Jim Stancil, and that if you do the math, you'll see I missed a whole week because I was busy in the real world. I am nearly 30 games over 500 picking games without the spread. Straight up money line. 80 wins, 53 losses on the year so far. Unbelievable what happens out here. Like I tell you every week, these fat, bearded losers at Barstool can talk all the shit they want. That talking head sponsored by Pfizer and the powers that be on ESPN can talk all the shit they want. I am an actual athlete, an all-American athlete at that. I've been a sports guy my whole life. I grew up listening to WFAN Sports Radio 66 every single night until I started listening to podcasts in the late aughts. So there's a reason. It's not by chance I'm 30 games over 500 for my picks, folks. So I just want you to rest easy, knowing you're in unbelievable hands. So with that said, you know what time it is when you hear the music, and there's the fucking music. It is time for the picks. Jim Stansel's picks with the spread for week 11 of the season is far more than half over. Week 11 of the NFL. I am on my back. I am reinventing podcasting. Let me see NFL games with. I'm not doing it on DraftKings anymore because DraftKings doesn't show you the record. It's fucking annoying. So I'm just going with whatever the fucking first thing comes up there. Let's see. All right, circle gets a square. We're using Yahoo for the spread. Yeah, like I said, there's those 3 big games, 2 left. Other than that, there's a couple interesting games and then some real stinkers. This is one of these middle kind of interesting games here, folks. The Bears traveled to the field, Soldier Field, Kelly P. Soldier Field, where she puts her beautiful hiney on the seats. Green Bay at 6-3, traveling all the way over there. It's not that far to Chicago. We're 4-5. So implications here for that division, folks. 6-3 Packers against the 4-5 Bears. So the Bears can take another step to getting to that division. Blah blah blah. The Bears are getting 5.5 at home. Green Bay seems to be getting a lot of heat. I understand they're 3 games over 500, and people love. And I have nothing against the Packers, but I am not so fully bought in. I like the Bears here at home, getting 5.5. Divisional game, which is always a little tighter. Green Bay may win. I think the 5.5 covers if the Bears don't win outright. Let's move on. This will be an absolute blowout. The Jacksonville Jaguars going into Detroit, the 8-1 Lions against the 2-8 Jags. Trevor Lawrence not playing, dealing with shoulder issues. The spread here is 13.5, and that frankly is not going to be enough. If they made it 17, if you want to move the line, I think 17.5 will do it for you. Maybe not even that. Give me the Lions minus 13.5 at home. Oh my God! I have to stop the music. I forgot to do 2 very important things. I forgot to do the power rankings, and I forgot to talk about the shitty college football scores. I am so sorry. I missed my 2 weekly segments. First, folks, the power rankings going into week 11. And if you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted about how absolutely lost Stephen A. Smith was with his rankings. At 5, you know what? I'm going to update it. Live update. I had the Commanders at 5. I still told you I like the Redskins. I do think they were cemented as a kind of what I thought they were. So I'm going to move the Bills are at 5. If I were doing 6, it would be the Commanders. I have the Bills at 5. I have the Eagles there at 4. I have the Detroit Lions at 3. I have the Ravens at 2. And I have the undefeated Chiefs at 1. Anybody who doesn't have the Chiefs at 1, anybody who's talking about are the Chiefs the worst 9-0 team, shut the fuck up. You know nothing about sports. The Chiefs are reigning Super Bowl champions. They just got a Pro Bowl wide receiver in Hopkins who has already proved his worth and is only going to get better the more he works with Mahomes. The Chiefs have to be number 1 in your rankings. Maybe after this weekend things can change, but a 9-0 undefeated team has to be number 1 in any power ranking. Anybody you see that doesn't have the Chiefs at 9-0, they're trying to make some bombastic point or some shit. but it's totally ridiculous to not have the Chiefs at number one. Like Stephen A. Smith had the Lions at number. If I put anybody else at number one, it would be the Ravens. Again, good for the Lions. Great offense. Unproven that they haven't won anything. They really have not, fairly easy schedule. The NFC as a whole isn't very good. And frankly, I don't see. I think the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl. I can almost tell you that already. As good as the Lions are. And anyway, so those are your 1 Chiefs, 2 Ravens, 3 Lions, 4 Eagles, 5 Bills. That is it. That is canon. That is set in stone. Sansostradamus power rankings for this week. Let's pull up the college scores from last week and see what a joke those were. Because college football fucking sucks. As I tell you every week, folks. And I hope I've opened the eyes of some of you to realize, what a joke college football is by me covering these scores every week. Because I really, unless you went to one of these big schools, there's literally no reason to watch these games. It's like me watching the Coney Island, the Brooklyn Cyclones when the Mets are playing. It's just stupid. Here you go. Don't believe me? Here's the scores from last week. Texas 49, Florida 17, Georgia, Ohio State 45, Purdue nothing. Ole Miss 28, Georgia 10, not that big of a deal. Colorado 41, Texas Tech 27, Tulane 52, Temple 6. South Carolina 28, Vanderbilt 7, Tennessee 33, Mississippi State 14, Oregon 39, Maryland 18, Alabama 42, LSU 13. I'm not even skipping any games. Notre Dame 52, Florida State 3, Penn State 35, Washington 6. College football sucks. Washington State 49, Utah State 28. Just no reason whatsoever to watch college football. I mean, put it on in the background if you're doing shit around the house. If you're a degenerate gambler, go ahead. If you're an alcoholic, go ahead and watch it. But just be honest. To anybody refute the fact that college football is a terrible product is just lost. So just admit you're either a degenerate gambler, you're bored at your house, or you're an alcoholic. Those are the only reasons. Or you went to one of these schools. Fine, I'll allow it. Other than that, there's absolutely no reason to watch college football when the real product is on Sundays. Now, Noah, we got to put the music back on, Noah, because we have to get back to the... Where were we? We already picked 2 games. I'll get to any comments after the pick, so go nuts, join the Patreon, or send a Venmo to my accountant at DaveD23 in the meantime. Let me get back to those sweet spreads. There we go. Alrighty, we picked the Detroit game. Another similarly shitty game with a good team and a terrible team. We had the Minnesota 7-2 Vikings going down to Rock and Roll City, Nashville, against the 2-7 Titans. Titans aren't even getting a touchdown. They're getting 6 points at home. Vikings, easy, -6. The Vikings have a very easy schedule. Vikings are another one of these NFC teams where they play any of these top 5 AFC teams, they'll get the doors blown off. Such an easy schedule. Don't forget Sam Darnold is the Vikings quarterback. So they're not going anywhere in the playoffs. But give me the Vikings -6, and let's move on, because who cares? Piece of shit. I've taken shits that are more interesting than this game. 2-7 Raiders at the 3-6 Dolphins. Dolphins think they can go on a run. They might. Dolphins are -7.5 at home. Give me the Raiders plus the 7.5 for fun. Sure. Who cares? Let's move on. Here's another shit game. Again, another team, the LA Rams, have hopes of the playoffs. 4-5 Rams at the going nowhere Patriots, although the Patriots do think they found their quarterback now. I will say that. The Patriots think they found their quarterback in, what's his name, the white guy, May. Patriots are getting 4.5 at home. I think the Rams do actually have some talent there. So give me the Rams minus the 4.5. I have a feeling, I think the Rams, unlike these other teams like the Falcons, people were gassing up, and I was against Stancelstradamus. I told you the Falcons weren't shit, and they've proven my point since the beginning of the year. People gassing up the Packers. I'm surprised more people aren't gassing up the Rams. If you want me to gas somebody, ask Gas Stancil, it'd be the Rams. Give me the Rams minus only 4.5 on the road. Total shithole game here. 2-7. Ray DeVito and loser Chad Zumo's Cleveland. 2-7 Browns going to Mark Norman's 3-7 New Orleans Saints. It's a pick'em in New Orleans, -1 for New Orleans. I wanted to take the Saints here because they have some weapons, but they got the guy Stillman on the Browns. I think they're going to put up Cleveland, as shitty as they are on offense, they still have a decent defense. And they do have a new connection with Stillman, that young wide receiver. Watch out for him. Yeah, give me the Browns plus the 1. Oh, what I wish wasn't the Indianapolis Colts at 4-6 coming over here to the Meadowlands to play the perennially underachieving Jets with a Hall of Fame quarterback, with probably a Hall of Fame wide receiver, with Pro Bowl running back, Pro Bowl cornerback, Pro Bowl, wide receiver. The Jets at 3-7. How sad is that? At least these other losing teams have huge injuries or are young, or you knew they were going to be shit. Just a depressing year for the Jets. And the Jets are favored still by 4 at home. The Jets, I've been saying it that they have to win this game. Anthony Richardson is starting quarterback back at quarterback for the Colts. Just a note there, and I like Richardson. It is just, and I'm not saying this, as you know, I'm not much of a homer at all with the Jets. But I just can't. Can they really lose again? Can the Jets really lose outright again? They might. I hate to say it, they might. They fucking might. Man, -4 at home. Yeah, I'm done picking them. I'm taking the Colts plus the 4. Maybe the Jets win by a field goal and I win both. Give me the Colts plus the 4. Fuck the Jets. Fuck my Jets. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck the ownership. Here you go. One of the games of the week here, folks. Let's change the tone. The 7-3 Ravens going down there to Three Rivers to play the 7-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers overachieving all year. 2 Hall of Fame coaches here, John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin. The spread is the Steelers are getting 3 at home. I like both these teams. I got nothing bad to say about either of these teams. I hope the Steelers continue to win and make the playoffs. I don't think they will win this week. I think the Ravens are on the Chiefs level. The Ravens are on a different level than these teams. I think they show that this week. I think Lamar Jackson is pushing again to be the league MVP, as he should be so far. I think the Ravens win outright. The Ravens are -3. I think they cover. I think the Ravens win by a touchdown. Touchdown to 10 points. I think the Ravens win by. I think it'll still be a low-scoring game. But I do think the Ravens put the Steelers in their place a bit. Maybe a little bit of chip on the Ravens' shoulders as the Steelers threatening their first place ranking in that division. But I'm hoping it'll be a tightly close game. But I don't see the Ravens losing this game. I think the Ravens are on another tier than the Steelers. Give me the Ravens minus the 3. The over-under here is 48.5, by the way. Bang that under on that AFC North game. Easy bang there. Bang away. Let's go. Let's keep it moving, baby. The 6-4 Falcons going to Mile High to play the 5-5 Broncos. I told you again last week, and this is why I'm 30 games over 500 without the spread, because I told you the Broncos were going to start coming back to earth. I think they had rattled off 3 in a row. So the Broncos are 5-5. The Falcons are still 6-4. As I've said all year, Kirk Cousins is gay, and he's an average quarterback who just throws the ball a ton and he compiles stats. The Broncos are favored by 2 at home, so it's basically a pick-em. Anything less than a field goal is a pick-em. I'm going with the Broncos at home. I've been consistent all year about not believing in the Falcons. I'm not saying they suck, but I don't think they're very good. I think they're going nowhere. Whereas the Broncos have young Bo Nix. They're building towards the future. They get a little better each week. Altitude is real. Just ask Julio, who took an edible and had to go home when we were in Colorado. Give me the Broncos minus 2 at home. We got another 4 o'clock game, or second game in the 4 o'clock window. Only 3 games in the 4 o'clock window, by the way, folks. We got Denver and Atlanta, which we just covered. We have this game, it's Seattle and San Fran, which we'll do right now. And then, of course, we got the big game of the week, game of the year, Kansas City and Buffalo after this. Only 3 games in that 4 o'clock window. So the Kansas City-Buffalo game is going to be your national game. We'll be all tuned into that. But before we get to that, we got the 4-5 Seahawks going to the 5-4 Niners. The Niners are favored by 6.5 at home. And McCaffrey came back last week. They reeled him in a touch. This is where the Niners go on their run. I think by week 18, those Niners are going to be in the top 3 of old Jim Stantz's power rankings. If you have your finger to the pulse of the NFL like old Jim Stansel does, you feel that 49er run coming now that they're all the way back healthy finally. Here it took 11 weeks, but they're back. I think the 49ers absolutely blow the Seahawks out of the water by at least 14. So give me the Niners minus 6.5, and look for the Niners to keep rolling. Let me see if I could quickly pull up the rest of the Niners schedule, because I have a feeling they may not lose another game with that lineup now. So yeah, let's see. They got the Seahawks, then they got Green Bay next week, another winnable game. Then Buffalo, that'll be a great game. That's December 1st, and that is the Sunday night game for December 1st. You may want to mark your calendars for that bad boy. Then they got Chicago, winnable. Rams, win. Dolphins, win. Detroit on December 30th, another one you're going to want to mark your calendars. And then they finish with Arizona. So the only games that really should be a contest are Buffalo, December 1st, and Detroit, December 30th. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should be 6 more wins, a possible 8 more wins for your 49ers. They are at yeah, they're at 5 wins now. So the Niners will be at 10 wins for sure, if not 13 if they win out, which is not impossible with when they have everybody healthy. So look for the Niners to start their end-of-season run right here this week, totally healthy, and they're at home. I think they're going to want to also make a statement, another divisional game here. Yeah, look for the Niners to not only cover that 6.5 easy, but cover easy. So bet in peace, folks. And by the way, don't forget Geno Smith is still the Seahawks quarterback, and fuck Geno Smith. Alrighty, here it is, your game of the year so far, your 425 national game. Your undefeated 9-0 Kansas City Trump-loving Chiefs going over there to, what's it called? Floral Park? Something Park in Buffalo. The 8-2 Bills. The spread is almost to pick 'em again. Bills are favored by 2 at home. I'm picking the Chiefs here. They're getting 2 points. An undefeated team getting points. I'll take that all 9 times out of 8. 10 times out of 11. Or wait, I'm saying that wrong. 9 times out of... I don't know. You get what I'm saying. Give me the Chiefs plus the points. A couple things on this game. Hopkins, this will be his 3rd week with the Chiefs. I mean, again, like I said way earlier now, I don't know how I do it every week. I'm Jim Stansel, the Socrates of sport, the Aristotle of athletics, the Nostradamus of national pastime. Every week, I always plan to do a shorter show and somehow always end up at an hour, and I fucking did it again. I don't even have to look up to know. That's what a fucking pro I am. But what I was saying before, that you see a lot of silliness with, is this the most underachieving undefeated team of all time? Do they have the weapons? Have they fallen off? Blah, 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 blah. It's the opposite, folks. The Chiefs making it look easy to go 9-0 in one of in probably the most competitive pro league of all the sports. But people buy into it, as pointed out by them getting 2 on the road, or the Bills being favored at home over an undefeated team. The Bills have talent, but I just don't. They aren't the Bills of years of yore. Gabe Davis is gone. Diggs is gone. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think the Chiefs win fairly easily. These games are always tight. They have a history, so I'm thinking it'll be a close game. I didn't mean easily as in a blowout. But I think the Chiefs go to 10-0. And I've been right all year. I've had them at the top of my power rankings all year for a reason. They are the undefeated and Super Bowl reigning champions, and there's no reason to think otherwise until proven otherwise. Absolutely, give me the Chiefs getting 2 points at that. So if there's any field goal, whatever. Now, the only thing with the Chiefs, Butker is out. The legend who sticks his dumb wife in the kitchen, Harrison Butker, is out. He's on injured reserve. Obviously, the Chiefs scored touchdowns, so I wouldn't worry too much about that kicking playing a huge factor, although maybe in the close game it will. Yeah, so to my point, and the other thing here is I think the Chiefs' defense can stop the Bills. I don't think the Bills' defense can stop the Chiefs' offense. So if you're on the fence, hopefully I helped you. The Chiefs, absolutely, plus the 2. Anybody else telling you anything different is just trying to get clicks, folks. The Chiefs are 9-0. They are Super Bowl reigning champs. They just signed a Pro Bowler 3 weeks ago with DeAndre Hopkins. Pacheco's back. What's his name? Worthy is on the team, the fastest man in the NFL. They have a great defense still, people forget about. Chiefs plus the 2, and I'm not really worried about that. So bet in peace. The Sunday night game, the Cincinnati Bengals, who had a rough loss against the Ravens last week, go to Geno Thompson's LA Chargers, who have the best, low-key, the best defense in the league. If you didn't watch last week, I filled you in on that. I think the loss last week was a dagger for the Bengals. I think if they were sitting at 5-5 instead of 4-6 going into this game, going into the rest of the season, if they won against the Ravens last week, they would be 5-5. The Bengals and the Ravens would be 6-4. They'd be 1 game out of first place. Instead, they lost. Now they are 2 games below 500. The Ravens have that tiebreaker. I think if the Bengals won last week, I think the rest of the season would have looked a lot different. Unfortunately for so thorough Joe Burrow and his faggy haircut, they lost. The Chargers at 6-3, high hopes for the playoffs, folks. And like I said, a great defense, and we know defense, don't look now, but defense wins championships. They have a real coach there, and Jim Harbaugh now. I think the Chargers, for you, Gino, I think the Chargers are actually a threat this year. And by no means am I saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they can win a playoff game for sure. And they're only -1.5 at home. Give me all signs point to the Chargers, folks. One of the best defense in the league by the numbers. Cincinnati off of that loss pulled the rug out from under them against the Ravens last week. Brutal loss. Give me the Chargers -1.5 on Sunday night. And then your Monday night game, which Roger Goodell and the money-grubbing you-know-whats that be of the NFL would have loved that this game a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, looked great on the schedule. Now it's kind of a shit game on Monday night. The battle for Texas. The 6-4 Houston Texans go to the total freefall Dallas Cowboys. Prescott's out. This season is over for them. The Commanders and Eagles are running away with the division. They don't really have a shot at the wild card. The Cowboys are getting 7.5 at home. Boy, Jerry Jones has got to be fuming. Underdogs by 7.5 in late November in a home game. It's got to be crushing for Jerry Jones because you know what egomaniac he is. Texans -7.5. I mean, it's almost an easy pick, but I don't see Texans with C.J. Stroud. They got their receiver back, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. They got those boys back. Give me the Texans -7.5 on Monday night. And that concludes your picks for a guy who's 30 games over 500 without the spread. Why go anywhere else? Why listen to anyone else but old Jim Stansel and old One-Eye Noah, right, Noah? He's a dog, he's a dog, he's a dog, dog, dog. Oh, boy, I did it again. You're welcome. I'm great. Let's stop the fucking music. The picks are over. I gotta go sell soccer balls, folks. After all, oh, boy, Gino, send me the link. Sorry, Gino, I didn't. My phone goes on silent when I'm doing. Next week, join me next week, and I do plan on, for everyone, including Gino, I do plan and hope to join Garrett and Steve once again next Thursday. All signs point to I will be able to, so stay tuned for that. That was a lot of fun. Oh, one of my mommies, KB. By the way, KB, shoot her a follow on Instagram. She's really looking hot nowadays. I don't know if you missed the show last week, KB. I do have my Lord Huron tickets for Red Rocks again. Oh, huge news, folks. Not really news, but I didn't even touch on it. I will be at the Barclays tomorrow night. Lord Huron opening for Casey Musgraves. Nickel Creek opening for Lord Huron. Nickel Creek, Chris Thiele, the best banjo player on the planet, literally after Bella Fleck. So once again, the 2024-2025 Lord Huron Tour kicking off in Barclays in Brooklyn tomorrow night. I'll be getting I already have a hotel in Queens. I'll be getting drunk. If anyone is in the city tomorrow night, hit me up. Maybe I'll see you after. Top off, ya gay. Thank you, Gavin. Noah refuses to not. Right, Noah? Noah lost an eye, KB. Right, buddy? Oh, he's a good dog. He's a dog. Right? Yeah. He's an old man. Here he comes. There he is. There's a one-eyed dog. I never seen a one-eyed dog. Have you ever seen a one-eyed dog on a fucking Dabbleverse fucking gay podcast? I don't think so. Have you ever seen a guy do a whole podcast from his back on a podcast? I don't think so. I'm reinventing the wheel. Yo, my man, Billy Tardy. What up, N-word? I saw Boston Memories account today. I thought of Billy. Slick Billy, if you're in town tomorrow night, let me know. I'll be at the concert and then doing stuff. I understand. Dr. Chow in the chat. What's up? Da da da. Yes, the Jets were Super Bowl contenders on paper, absolutely. With the talent they have, no reason to say they weren't. There's no reason to predict the best defense on paper before the season, Dr. Chow, if you must know. Top defense in the league, the best young running back in the league, the best young wide receiver in the league, Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah, absolutely. I said they were Super Bowl contenders. I never said they were definitely, but all that goes to prove the curse or just the ineptitude of the Jets front office and the coaching. No plan any week for the Jets. Now you're getting me riled back up on the Jets, Dr. Chow. I'm trying to end the show. I got shit to do. I can't just do 4-hour streams and beg for people's money, for the same people's money every day, like these other fucking boring losers. But yes, it total inept. No plan any week for the game plan. They just stroll into these games like they're supposed to win without doing anything. Really pathetic. And it starts with the front office and it starts with coaching. But thank you for getting me riled up. All right. I did an hour 10. My God. Noah, look at Noah. Look at his one eye. Poor Noah. I did it. You did it. You watch, whether you watched it live or you, like most of you do, watch later. And by the way, thank all of you. The numbers are unfucking believable. You could ask Husey. The numbers coming across my desk. I mean, especially with Trump in office, the numbers have been doing unbelievable things out here. Even RFK, my wife Cheryl showed me the numbers for the Sports Mass Collective, and Cheryl and I found a rattlesnake, and I found a rattlesnake, and it reminded me of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And they used to use linseed oil in the McDonald's now. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have ADHD. I got to eat something and go sell some soccer balls to some comedians. Count all the votes. We counted all the votes. I'm gay. Noah's got one eye. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com. Ski Mask Media. Might try to squeeze in a Ski Mask Collective. Go watch the one from last week if you haven't. It was an all-timer. All right, goodbye. I gotta go. Bye.